Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Little late, better late than never. This is the thing that's funny to me. This is funny. People actually thought I couldn't come up with 90 players better than LeBron. They thought I couldn't do it. They thought I couldn't do it. And this is mind boggling. Everybody in the chat. This is a shout out to Detroit T for his team getting the number one pick. I'm salty, but respect. And shout out to him for suggesting that I created this list. Because you have a lot of people who think you just love blurting stuff out for attention. If I wanted attention, do you think I would be talking about these topics every day, or these type of topics like talking about my life or talking about something BS? You think I would do that? I am not an attention seeker and I'm not an attention whore. I do not give two flying. Is it past 2 minutes yet? Okay, almost. I don't give two flying F's about what people think. I don't. I've lost people over making this page. I've lost a lot of people who used to mess with me. They don't like me no more because I'm pointing out the obvious of their bum ass player. And I got facts to back it up, but they don't want to hear facts. They don't want to hear the call facts. They would rather hear a lying, no hairline bastard every day on First Take, or they'd rather listen to a goat mouth, bass face trout ass dude on Undisputed, rather than listen to the real, rather than listen to people who actually watch these games, who goes back and puts the work in to know who's great and who's not. You know, it's crazy. Now, part 3, we just did. Now we're on part 4. Part 5 will be the finale. But this is part 4. At 61, we got Ron Artest. At 62, we have Sam Cassell. At 63, we have Russell Westbrook. At 64, we have Chris Paul. At 65, we have Mark Aguirre. At 66, we have Vinny the Microwave Johnson. At 67, we have Paul Pierce. At 68, we have Shaquille O'Neal. At 69, we have Casey Jones. At 70, we have Dennis Johnson. At 71, we have Adrian Dantley. At 72, we have David Skywalker Thompson. At 73, we have Bill Laimbeer. At 74, we have Clyde Frazier. At 75, we have Chauncey Big Shot Billups. At 76, we have Tracy McGrady. At 77, we have Vince Carter. At 78, we have Scotty Simpson. At 79, we have Robert Big Shot Bob Ory. And at number 80, we have Alonzo Mourning. So let me ask the haters out there. You thought I couldn't come up with a list. Ron Artest is a way better player than LeBron. The only thing that held Ron Artest back was his anger issues and his bipolarness. If that's a word, bipolarness, I might have made that up. But as far as shooting, scoring, defending, Ron Artest was a way better basketball player than LeBrownies. Sam Cassell was a better player. Everywhere Sam Cassell went, his team made the playoffs and damn near got to the third round, almost to the championship. Milwaukee, after Houston, he went to Milwaukee. After Milwaukee, I believe he went to Minnesota. And then he finished off on the Clippers. And guess what? He got the Clippers to the playoffs with a young nucleus and a rising star who is a rookie in Sean Livingston. So don't talk to me about my basketball knowledge because I know it. I know about these guys. I wasn't just born yesterday. I was born, but not yesterday. You feel what I'm saying? I might have did that wrong, but who cares? Russell Westbrook has averaged 4 to 5 years of triple doubles. Something your bum king couldn't do. But yet, the media hates on Russell Westbrook. I call him Westbrook not as a diss. I call him Westbrook because his shot is broken, but he's going to ball for broke. It don't matter. He's still going to attempt the shot and try to destroy you. Chris Paul rubs his teammates the wrong way, but you cannot take nothing. Chris Paul is a better leader, and he is a way better overall player than LeBrownies. He can pass better, he can shoot better, he can score better, and he can defend better. So don't tell me about this bum. Because we're seeing it this year. Everywhere Chris Paul goes, he makes his guys instant contenders, and he makes his guys better. Unlike that bum. So don't give me that. He go to every different team. He brought a championship. Bullshit. He brought every damn player over there he can in the book. This guy has had more stacked teams than anybody. But y'all get on KD, y'all get on all these other guys. But this bum here has been breaking the rules ever since he's been in the league. Are you serious? This guy doesn't want to be coached. He doesn't want to be taught. Now let's see. Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre was a beast in Dallas. Probably was on his way to being a top 50 player. But because he went to Detroit, they are punishing him. Because he decided to take a back seat to Dennis Rodman. Mark Aguirre should be in the Hall of Fame right now. Point blank period. He should be. Adrian Dantley. Oh, excuse me. I went too far down. Vinny Johnson, the microwave. Enough said. The microwave. The dude would shoot you out of the game. Your team could not stop him, and he had these long arms to the floor where he could out-rebound you too and get putbacks. He's a better player. Paul Pierce, enough said. The truth. As many times as he hit last-second shots in this guy eye and was like, cold-blooded. Paul Pierce is a better shooter, a better scorer, a better defender. I won't give him passing, and he's a better post player and a better back-to-the-basket player than LeBrownies is. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, as much as I don't like him, to me, this is where he should be. Shaq was not as dominant as you guys think he was. But Shaq was better than LeBrownies. He was. He had more heart. He was tougher. And at least Shaq was a better leader. Shaq could relate to the guys. He didn't throw guys under the bus. He actually played. But Shaq was not dominant like that. So stop with the dominant crap. He just took advantage of 6'8", 6'9" centers in the league he played in, and he barely was averaging over 10 or 11 rebounds a game. Now, KC Jones for the Celtics was before my time. But KC Jones was the backup guy to come in to Bob Cousy. They used to call him and Sam Jones the Jones brothers because they would give you instant offense. And they both could defend. And they always kept the defense on their heels. Very underrated. And he also was a great coach for Boston as he got Bird his championships. But KC Jones never talked about. Why? Because he's a black man that coaches. Now, Dennis Johnson. Everybody wants to talk about Dennis Johnson for the Celtics. Dennis Johnson for the Sonics. He's the only player who he basically brought the championship there. He would shoot you out the game and he could defend. He could guard bigger guys as well as small guys, and he was quick. He could pass as well. Dennis Johnson brought a championship to the Seattle Supersonics, their only championship. He's a better player than LeBron, light years better. Adrian Dantley. Only thing messed him up was his beef with Isaiah, but other than that, the guy was a hell of a player. He dominated the ball. He was a way better scorer, way better shooter. Also, he was a better defender than LeBrownies blames. And he was intricate to getting the Pistons to help them get to where they had to get to that first championship, which they were robbed. David Skywalker Thompson. David Skywalker, some have said, was better than Dr. J. And he is the guy who Michael Jordan mimicked his game after. He was the one who came up with that scoop shot when you get to the dunk, about to dunk it, and he just scoops it into the basket. Michael Jordan talked about that when they outlawed the dunk. But Skywalker was in dunk contest. Skywalker's career was kind of short because he succumbed to the pressures of the drugs. But as far as a basketball player, he was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. And I think people need to go watch him and understand. He went to NC State. I think he went to Duke. Right, he went to Duke, I believe. Either Duke or NC State, one of them. But Michael looked up to him, modeled his game after him, learned how to finish around the hoop like him. So when you're watching Michael, you're watching David Thompson. So all this, Kobe stole Mike moves, Mike stole David's moves. He did. So everybody takes from everybody. Different generations. Because when you take from somebody, it's called a form of flattery. But the media wants to turn it into a negative, like, oh, you ain't got your own game. LeBron James played like Clarence Weatherspoon did. He's just more athletic and faster. That's who he plays like. He don't play like anybody else. Shawn Kemp was a way better player than him. So, Bill Laimbeer, got to give it to him. Bill Laimbeer's rim protection was one of the key reasons the Pistons were able to nullify Michael Jordan and the Bulls for so long, because they were able to keep him at bay. And he whooped Charles Barkley ass. Charles thought because he was white he couldn't throw no hands. And he showed him that Bill Laimbeer was nothing to mess with. And he started off soft. They toughened him up. And when they toughened him up, he was doing his thing. He's really one of the first bigs to be a stretch five. He could shoot the three. He could post up. Bill Laimbeer had skills. People just don't like him because he played hard. He knocked guys on their head. He was an enforcer. He was a real enforcer. He used to go at it with Kareem and Parrish and all of them. If it wasn't for him, it would have been tough for the Pistons to win. Clyde Frazier. Clyde Frazier, New York's own, helped bring 2 chips there. I believe it was 2. him and Earl Monroe, when they got Earl Monroe, that was the piece they were missing with him, and I believe it was Willis Reed was there or Bernard. One of them were there. I got to go back and look, but him and Earl Monroe created a tough backcourt. Clyde was a great floor general, not a good one. He was a great floor general, but he was a better basketball player, had a higher IQ. Um, he's New York's own. You cannot mention New York without mentioning Clyde Frazier. You can't do it. The guy was amazing with the ball. Now, he can't dress and he makes some outlandish statements, but Clyde, you have to respect him. He was the first Clyde before Drexler. Now, Chauncey Big Shot Billups. Chauncey started off, people forget, Chauncey was a Boston Celtic. And he really was not all that, but it wasn't his fault. It wasn't that he was a bad player. He didn't fit the system. He bounced around until he found his way to Detroit, which he helped Detroit get their one and only championship of the 2000s. They should have won two, but Rasheed left Big Shot Bob open for that three when he was with the Spurs. So, like I said, Chauncey Billups' defense at the top of the key was very intricate, especially when it was to help Tayshaun and them shield off Kobe. Also, they've had a great defense when they played against the Spurs. They should have beat the Spurs. But Big Shot Bob said, hey, can't let you get away with that. But Chauncey Billups was one of the greatest point guards we've ever seen. Now, I disagree with him what he said about Iverson. Chauncey, you're not no goddamn Iverson. I mean, I'm like Phil Jackson. Chauncey, you're not Allen. You're not Allen. You're not. Iverson was something we've never seen, and he transcended what the game was. Now, Tracy McGrady, one of the greatest players ever to play. Way better than LeBron. Could score, could facilitate. I believe he was a better passer. And he was a better defender. He could rebound just as well, if not better. Tracy's problem was he could not get out the goddamn first round. Now, was that all on him? No. Even though C. Penn wants to destroy him by saying, man, he could have got one of them. Nah, not with them teams. And then a lot of times with Houston, he had a bad back, or he was there, or Yao Ming wasn't there. When Ron Artest came, McGrady was hurt for that year, I believe. He was hurt before the playoffs. But if they would have had McGrady, it would have been on and popping against the Lakers and everybody. But Tracy McGrady, he solidified his career when he carried Orlando to multiple playoff seasons. Just couldn't win because, didn't have the talent. And he just didn't close the games. But to say, yes, he was greater than what's his face? I forgot his name. LeBrownies. And he had a post game. Everyone always asks this: T-Mac versus KD. And the only reason I would choose KD is because KD can score at a high clip from each level. Now, T-Mac's a better post player, better ball handler, better defender, but overall game, I got to give it with KD. Shooting wise, scoring wise, KD's better. Post game, I say T-Mac. Defensively, T-Mac's better on the perimeter. But I don't know. KD has been shown that he can shut down guards too. So it was a toss-up. But also Kevin Durant, man, he hit a lot. To me, he hit just as much, if not more, clutch shots than T-Mac. But T-Mac is very forgotten, and he shouldn't be. T-Mac was a tough player. He made, you love Orlando after Penny left. Now, 77, Vince Carter. Half man, half amazing. Probably the greatest dunker in history. You got to say that. You got to say he's the greatest dunker in history. But the only reason why he's not above Dominique Wilkins, because Dominique Wilkins can score better, had a better post game. Now, defensively, they both were average, not the greatest. Rim protecting, Dominique was a little bigger, longer, taller, but Vince was more athletic, could leap a little more. Vince didn't really have a strong left, but the guy could score. And as his athleticism was leaving him, he learned how to shoot. He learned how to score from different positions. He learned how to help more. So Vince Carter was very intricate, and he is Toronto's Michael Jordan. He is the Toronto Raptors and all of Canada's Michael Jordan. Drake said it best. That's the guy who we grew up loving. That's the guy who we wanted to be like. He brought so many memories to Canada. I had a Canadian, a dude I met before. He just used to tell me, man, we didn't see Jordan, but when we saw Vince Carter, that was our Jordan. Just like in the States, Kobe was our Jordan after Mike. So Vince Carter was a way better player than LeBron James. Better shooter, better scorer, better dunker. Post game, he was better. And Vince hit some shots, big shots, but didn't hit these shots like Reggie Miller. But it was good to see him play for all them years, to give back, to help the youth, help the kids learn and grow. But Vince Carter, you got to give him respect. Scottie Simpson. If Scottie would shut his goddamn mouth, Scottie would have been higher on the list. But Scottie, I keep telling people, I don't really remember Scottie being that intricate. Now, he was very good as far as his length. He could guard the smaller guards. He could handle the ball better than LeBron can. Passing, I say they're about a tie almost. But LeBron probably is a better passer. Better scorer, I would give it to Pippen. Better shooter, I'd probably say LeBron. They're both mentally weak. And not only that, Scottie, if you put Scottie with the right team, you know, he could do some things. The reason why Scottie's better than LeBron is because defensively, Scottie was better. Scottie could guard 1 through 3. I don't believe he could guard the 4, depending on the matchup. If the 4 was like a stretch 4, like if they would throw Derek McKee up there one time at the 4, or somebody who played small forward, they would throw him at the 4, and yeah, he could guard them. But Pippen was a great ball handler. He could get to the next level. He could pass out. But when it was clutch time, he just couldn't get the job done. Robert Horry, Big Shot Bob. Big Shot Bob single-handedly ended every franchise run. He ended the Magic's run. He ended the Sacramento Kings. The guy was just a thorn in your side. The Blazers, the Spurs, he would give all of them the business. Then when he went to play for the Spurs, he shot the shot that stopped the Pistons from at least trying to start to have a dynasty. Stop their back-to-back. They could have probably went for the three-peat. But Bob said, no, can't do it. Wet. Probably the most clutchest player we've ever seen in history. This guy is always left open. Nobody what the hell does the defenses think? This guy hits these shots. Big Shot Bob is better. Big Shot Bob's a better scorer, a better shooter. We know that. And he's way more clutch than LeBron. And he's a better defender. Go back and watch those King series, those Blazer series. Go watch those Rocket series. Because he started off at the 3 and then he moved to the 4. Watch those games against Orlando and the Knicks in the championship, what he did. The guy's a dog. Now, dribbling wise, he's not the greatest, but nor is LeBron. But passing, he made some great passes out the post. He did. He did. But Big Shot Bob. Big Shot Bob was amazing. He was. And he hit a lot of clutch shots to end careers. Just to end everything, man. It was, man, it still hurt to this day how he did my Magic. Him and Mario Ellie just did they thing. Now, Alonzo Mourning. The reason Alonzo is so low because he had a short career because of heart problems. But Alonzo Mourning revitalized Charlotte. He made Charlotte the place to be. It's just too bad him and Larry Johnson got into it. But the guy was a hell of a player. You can never take that away from him. You can't. You can never take that away from him. And he was intricate in the championship when D Wade and Shaq and them won. He came off the bench and played a lot of crucial minutes. If it wasn't for him, those guys would not have pulled those out. They wouldn't have. You know. They wouldn't have. You know. So you know how it is. So that is 61 through 80. You got Ron Artest 61, Sam Cassell 62, Russell Westbrook 63, Chris Paul 64, Mark Aguirre 65, Vinnie Johnson 66, Paul Pierce 67, Shaq 68, 69 K.C. Jones, 70 Dennis Johnson, 71 Adrian Dantley, 72 David Thompson, 73 Bill Laimbeer, 74 Clyde Frazier, 75 Chauncey Billups, 76 Tracy McGrady, 77 Vince Carter, 78 Scottie Pippen, 79 Robert Horry, number 80 Alonzo Mourning. All right. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you like what you hear, you can donate to the page by Cash Apping me at the word welcome, the number 2, and then HDIITV. Thank you all for listening. And we are out. Daisy!